The remaining demi-humans are attempting to escape as the Holy Knights follow them. They manage to flee underground, but with no information regarding the underground maps, they are stuck. As they are discussing their next move, the Holy Knights surround them, declaring their arrest for conspiring against Princess Alteria. They warn them to not resist despite possessing superior strength since they are no match against their holy weapons. Suddenly, a mysterious voice starts mocking the Holy Knights and turns them into stone. It is Leo, who has disguised himself by wearing a mask. He forces the demi-humans to bow before him and introduces himself as Zalvadis. He then offers them to devote themselves to him and in return, he shall grant them shelter. With no other left, the demi-humans accept his offer and pledge their allegiance to the Demon Lord. Hearing this, Leo grants them the title of Demon Wolves and forges a hidden underground labyrinth for their shelter. Suddenly, he receives a call from Reincarnated, who questions him regarding his whereabouts. Leo immediately cuts her call and disappears. Reincarnated, on the other hand, notices the increasing hordes of crows and the fact that she is the one attracting them worries her. She then proceeds to Leo's room to wake him up, and as soon as she opens the door, she witnesses Sherry sweeping the floor, wondering if she is hallucinating. Seizing the opportunity, Sherry disappears and Reincarnated also leaves his room. She attempts to call him, but Leo hangs up her call, which worries her even more. In the meantime, Leo teleports back into his room and dispelling his magic, he proceeds to Reincarnated's room to give her an earful. As soon as he opens the door, he witnesses Reincarnated changing her clothes and gets embarrassed. At that exact moment, Regina also enters the room, questioning if she interrupted something. Hearing this, both of them begin scolding her for not knocking before entering. Following this, the three of them have lunch together as Reincarnated scolds Leo for not eating properly. Regina, on the other hand, is worried regarding the climbing numbers of crows outside their dorm and propounds eliminating them, but Reincarnated refuses, stating that they are somewhat cute. They also talk about the presence of a huge black dog and a ghost dressed as a maid, which shocks Leo. Reincarnated then questions Leo regarding his whereabouts, to which he replies by stating that he was solo training to prepare for their practice match. He further reveals that he wants to help Reincarnated since she is always taking care of him. Hearing this, Reincarnated starts blushing and Regina also praises his stance. They had spent plentiful time forging a detailed plan for their battle against Fenris' platoon and are confident that they'll beat them and enhance their ranking. The following day, their practice match against Platoon 11 commences. Reincarnated and Leo are acting together as they strike the first blow. Fine and Regina are stationed to protect their main flag, while Sakuya approaches to target the opposition flag. As Reincarnated and Leo are approaching towards the next sub-flag, Fenris surprisingly confronts her and manages to terminate her movements. This shocks Reincarnated as she wasn't expecting Fenris to leave the main flag and come after her. Fenris reveals the flaws in her strategy, announcing that it will be an unblemished victory for her if she defeats Reincarnated here. Using her holy sword, he overpowers Reincarnated in the beginning and even manages to corner her. Reincarnated, however, refuses to accept defeat and musters up overwhelming power to break through her binding to eliminate Fenris, the opposite captain. With this, Platoon 18 is announced the winner of this practice match. The professors praise their performance, while pointing out their flaws as well. Following this, Reincarnated and the others take a bath together. Even though Leo is embarrassed, Reincarnated forces him to accompany them as he is still a kid. Regina, on the other hand, is messing with Sakuya by grabbing her breasts and even asks Leo to take a look, but he gets embarrassed and refuses. Sakuya then apologizes for getting carried away and messing up the mission, but they praise her for eliminating her persuaders, and without that, they would have lost. They aspire to get better as they continue battling together. Leo remains embarrassed all this time. He is technically an adult, so it makes sense. On the other hand, Nefekis, the Void Lord, is offering demon swords as sacrifices to the goddess. He praises Sharnik's effort and wonders who killed her. With the awakening of the goddess of prophecy drawing near, the sky tears apart as an abandoned assault garden emerges from it. In regard to this, the 18th platoon has been summoned by the command office. They are informed about the presence of an abandoned assault garden by the observation base that monitors Void territory. These observation bases are always on the look to detect early stampede activity. Seeing the monitor, Reincarnated and the others immediately recognize the 3rd assault garden. Even though its power plant was shut down, there's a possibility that something caused it to reactivate. Currently, it is sailing towards the 7th assault garden and is suspected to reach there in 7 days. The most concerning thing about this incident is the fact that they have received distress signals that depict the presence of survivors in the assault garden. Reincarnated and her platoon have been assigned to do a sweep of the city and locate survivors, if any. They are also responsible to inspect the power plant in the navigational system, and shut down everything if necessary. Furthermore, they are directed to complete these tasks before 72 hours, otherwise, it would get difficult for the 7th Assault Garden to retreat in case of emergency. They are also permitted combat in case of void encounter for self-defense. Hearing all this, Fine questions the reason for choosing their platoon for this mission. The instructor informs them that it was the Bureau's decision, which shocks Fine. She asks if Reincarnated, being a survivor and the daughter of the Duke family, is the reason behind this decision. Leo immediately realizes that they basically want a hero. It was the same back when Leo was a hero, as people used to idolize him. Reincarnated is slightly concerned about Leo since he is still a child, but he reassures her that he is also a member of the 18th platoon and can protect himself. The following day, Leo and the others set out for this mission. Before leaving, Leo meets Blackus and Sherry, who apprise him about the Sacred Order's insignia amongst some ruins of a city. This concerns Leo, as everything related to the Millennium Ago War was erased from the history, and he wants to figure out the person behind all this. Blackus reassures Leo to protect the kingdom in his absence, while he asks Sherry to accompany him. On their way, Regina asks Leo to rest on her lap since he must be tired, but Reincarnated objects. She expresses that Leo can only rest on her lap as she is his guardian. Hearing this, Regina brings out an ear cleaner, apprising that it is the perfect opportunity to clean his ear. Now, Reincarnated has no other option but to allow this, as Regina forces Leo into her lap and starts cleaning his ear. This reminds Leo of the time when goddess Reincarnated used to rest on his lap as he indulges in polishing his bones. Upon inquired about this, Leo states that dirty bones would demean his dignity as the almighty demon lord. Reincarnated then reminds him that she is going to disappear soon, as Leo orders her to stop joking around. Reincarnated, however, insists that she will disappear soon enough now that they have managed to forge their own kingdom and will get reincarnated 1,000 years into the future. She then asks if Leo will look for her, regardless of the form she takes. Leo promises that if something like this happens, he will forge every nook and corner to find her. Reincarnated appreciates his confidence and asks him to promise her one more thing. However, as she is speaking, Leo wakes up from his dream and notices that he is lying on Reincarnated's lap. Upon reaching the assault garden, Reincarnated and Leo head towards the central garden, while the others scavenge where the distress signal is coming from. Fine leaves one of her probes with them, as Regina teases Leo by apprising him for not have any ideas now that he is alone with Reincarnated. Leo, on the other hand, orders Sherry to protect Regina and the others, which disappoints her a little as she wanted to protect him instead. Leo reminds her that he is Almighty Demon Lord and doesn't need protection. He further tells her that those three are not his minions, but citizens of his kingdom, and their protection is his responsibility. On their way to the central garden, Reincarnated reminisces about different shops and how she used to pester her father, but the stampede destroyed everything. As they are conversing, something targets them from above the skies. Both of them somehow manage to dodge the attack, but Reincarnated loses her balance and falls. The next attack forces a beam to fall on Reincarnated as a massive creature appears from the sky. It seems that Reincarnated and the others are finally getting the recognition they deserve. Also, I wonder who that mysterious guy is. Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe, so you do not miss out on anything.